Hey everyone, Ellen here, and I need your attention for a minute. This isn't about a funny cat video or a celebrity prank. This is serious. The West Coast is bracing for a major weather event, a bomb cyclone, and it's crucial we all take it seriously. We're talking about potentially life-threatening conditions, folks. From California to Washington, this storm is predicted to bring heavy rains, howling winds, and the possibility of widespread flooding. So, buckle up, West Coast, because things are about to get wild. All right, let's talk about this bomb cyclone thing. Sounds scary, right? The name itself conjures images of explosive power and destruction, and in many ways, that's not far from the truth. Well, it kind of is. Basically, it's a storm that gets super strong, super fast. But what exactly does that mean? A bomb cyclone is a meteorological phenomenon where a storm undergoes rapid intensification, dropping at least 24 millibars of atmospheric pressure within 24 hours. This rapid drop in pressure is what gives the storm its explosive characteristics. Imagine a balloon inflating at warp speed. That's kind of what's happening with the air pressure in these storms. The faster the pressure drops, the more intense the storm becomes. This process is known as bombogenesis, and it's what transforms an ordinary storm into a bomb cyclone. This rapid intensification causes the storm to explode in strength, leading to those hurricane-force winds and torrential downpours I mentioned earlier. These storms can bring wind speeds exceeding 70 miles per hour, heavy rainfall, and even blizzard conditions in some cases. And just like a real bomb, these cyclones can cause some serious damage. The combination of high winds and heavy rain can lead to widespread destruction, including downed trees, damaged buildings, and severe flooding. We're talking about power outages, coastal erosion, and even landslides. The impact on infrastructure can be devastating, leaving communities without power and causing long-term damage to the environment. So yeah, it's not something to take lightly. Preparation is key when it comes to dealing with bomb cyclones. Communities need to be ready to respond quickly to minimize the damage and ensure everyone's safety. But hey, knowledge is power, right? Understanding what a bomb cyclone is and how it forms can help us better prepare for these intense storms. Meteorologists use advanced technology to track and predict these storms, giving us valuable time to take necessary precautions. Now that we know what we're dealing with, let's see how this storm is shaping up for our friends on the West Coast. With the right information and preparation, we can weather the storm and come out stronger on the other side. California, the Golden State, known for its sunshine and beaches, is about to get a crash course in Mother Nature's fury. This bomb cyclone is taking aim right at the coastline, and it's bringing an arsenal of heavy rain and powerful winds. We're talking about potential mudslides, especially in areas already soaked from previous storms. And let's not forget about those iconic California beaches. They're in for a pounding too, with high surf and dangerous rip currents expected. So if you are planning a beach day anytime soon, you might want to reschedule. Trust me, you don't want to mess with Mother Nature when she's in this kind of mood. Oregon and Washington, you're not off the hook either. This bomb cyclone is bringing its A-game to the entire West Coast, and that means you're in for a wild ride too. Think heavy rain, strong winds, and even some mountain snow. Yep, you heard that right, snow. And just like in California, there's a risk of flooding and landslides, especially in areas with steep terrain. So if you live in a flood-prone area, now's the time to prepare. And for those of you in the mountains, be prepared for potential road closures and avalanche warnings. Section 5. Burn scars and flooding, a recipe for disaster. Now here's where things get even more concerning. The aftermath of wildfires is already devastating, but the danger doesn't end when the flames are extinguished. Remember those devastating wildfires that ripped through the West Coast last year? They left behind a trail of destruction, turning lush forests into barren, charred landscapes. Well, those burn scars are like open wounds on the landscape, vulnerable and exposed. The soil, once held together by vegetation, is now loose and unstable. And this bomb cyclone, a powerful and intense storm system, is threatening to pour salt on those wounds. The heavy rains it brings can turn these fragile areas into disaster zones. The charred ground can't absorb water as easily as it used to. The intense heat from the fires has baked the soil, making it hydrophobic or water repellent. This makes those areas extremely vulnerable to flash floods and debris flows. When the rain hits, it runs off quickly, carrying with it ash, mud, and debris. It's a recipe for disaster, folks. The combination of burned, unstable ground and heavy rainfall can lead to catastrophic events. We're talking about potential mudslides that could sweep away homes, block roads, and cause significant damage to infrastructure. These mudslides can occur with little warning, making them particularly dangerous. So if you live near a burn scar, please pay extra attention to the warnings. Stay informed by keeping an eye on weather reports and emergency alerts, and be prepared to evacuate if necessary. Your safety is paramount. Have an emergency plan in place, know your evacuation routes, and have a go bag ready with essential items. It's better to be safe and prepared than to be caught off guard by a sudden disaster. Section 6, Climate Change, Fueling the Fury of Mother Nature. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ellen, is this normal? Are these crazy storms becoming the new normal? It's a question that many of us have been asking ourselves lately. With the increasing frequency and intensity of these storms, it's hard not to wonder if this is just the way things are going to be from now on. And it's a valid question. The truth is, scientists are seeing a disturbing trend of more extreme weather events. And yes, climate change is playing a significant role in this. Over the past few decades, we've seen a marked increase in the number of severe weather events. Hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, and wildfires are becoming more common and more destructive. This isn't just a coincidence, it's a pattern that scientists have been tracking and studying for years. One of the most visible signs of climate change is the melting of glaciers and polar ice caps. As the planet warms, these ice masses are shrinking at an alarming rate, contributing to rising sea levels and changing weather patterns. Think of it like this: climate change is like turning up the heat on a stove. The hotter it gets, the more intense and unpredictable the reactions become. Just as boiling water can lead to steam and bubbles, a warmer planet leads to more extreme weather events. The hotter it gets, the more intense and unpredictable the reactions become. We see this in the form of stronger storms, heavier rainfall, and more powerful winds. These extreme weather events are not just random occurrences, they are a direct result of the changes happening in our climate. So, while we can't say for certain that this particular bomb cyclone is caused by climate change, we can say that these types of extreme weather events are becoming more frequent and more intense because of it. The damage caused by these storms is often devastating. Homes are destroyed, streets are flooded, and lives are disrupted. The economic and social impacts are enormous, and they are only going to get worse if we don't take action. It's a wake-up call, folks. We can't afford to ignore the signs any longer. The evidence is clear, and the consequences of inaction are too great to ignore. We need to take climate change seriously and start making changes to protect our planet and ourselves. This means reducing our carbon footprint, investing in renewable energy, and supporting policies that promote sustainability. It's not going to be easy, but it's necessary if we want to ensure a livable future for ourselves and future generations. Communities around the world are already taking steps to address climate change, from planting trees to reduce carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, to building wind turbines and solar panels to generate clean energy. People are coming together to make a difference. Education is also a key component in the fight against climate change. By teaching the next generation about the importance of sustainability and the impact of their actions, we can empower them to make informed decisions and take meaningful action. On a global scale, international cooperation is crucial. World leaders must come together to create and enforce policies that reduce greenhouse gas emissions and promote sustainable practices. It's a collective effort that requires commitment and collaboration from all nations. Innovation and technology also play a vital role. Advances in renewable energy, electric vehicles, and energy-efficient buildings are helping to reduce our reliance on fossil fuels and decrease our carbon footprint. These innovations are paving the way for a more sustainable future. Public awareness and activism are equally important. By raising our voices and demanding action from our leaders, we can drive change and hold those in power accountable. Every action, no matter how small, contributes to the larger goal of combating climate change. Ultimately, the goal is to preserve the beauty and diversity of our planet for future generations. By taking action now, we can ensure that our children and grandchildren inherit a world that is healthy, vibrant, and full of life. So let's come together and make a difference. The future of our planet depends on it. Let's fuel the fury of Mother Nature with positive change and create a sustainable world for all. Section 7. Staying safe in the storm. Tips for riding out the cyclone. All right, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk about what you can do to stay safe during this bomb cyclone. First things first, stay informed. Keep an eye on the news, weather apps, and your local authorities for updates and warnings. Knowledge is power, remember? Next, prepare your home. Bring in any outdoor furniture or decorations that could become projectiles in high winds. Charge your devices in case of power outages. And have a plan in case you need to evacuate. It's always better to be safe than sorry, folks. Section 8. A call to action. Preparation is key in the face of disaster. Now more than ever, we need to come together as a community. Check on your neighbors, especially the elderly or those with disabilities who might need extra help. And if you're able, offer a helping hand. A little kindness goes a long way, especially in times of crisis. Remember, we're all in this together. Let's show the world what it means to be West Coast strong. We've got this. Section 9. Weathering the storm, a reminder of nature's power. As we brace for this bomb cyclone, let's take a moment to remember the sheer power of Mother Nature. She's a force to be reckoned with, capable of both breathtaking beauty and terrifying destruction. It's a humbling reminder that we are but guests on this planet and we need to treat her with respect. So let's weather this storm together, with courage, compassion, and a healthy dose of respect for the incredible forces at play around us. Stay safe, West Coast.